Snow Patrol and Run on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me is Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. So that's 3 for 1. I don't know. All right.
Exciting. News.
Breaking news is that there's only 2 more weeks of us before we have to go away on a little extended break again. So, can't give any more details yet. We don't know when we can come back because, we don't know what we're doing. We're going to, America. We're doing the Golden Globes, and then we're going to watch the Office pilot being filmed.
Yes.
And then we got bits. I'm doing a bit of a tour, so it'll be sort of the summer times probably.
Yeah.
I'm saying it like they care.
Oh, they don't give a damn.
Do you know what I mean? I sometimes think that because you think, oh, you don't want to let down the people. You want to keep it consistent. You want to give, but really, I know I like doing this more than anyone listening.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
I love coming in, I love squeezing Karl's head.
Yeah.
I love playing some records. You know, I like sort of sitting in the room with you. I know you love it.
Oh.
I can't wait.
I can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing on a Saturday.
Yeah. So, we got our Saturdays back though.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, my alarm went off today and I was a bit tired because we had a couple of drinks last night, didn't we?
Last night, yeah.
We had, you know, we're party animals. I've been looking for an office this week, as you know. And it's so stressful. Just walking around, just talking to agents and, right, okay. So, my method is this, right? I walk round the area that I want to be in, obviously, because I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to, you know what I mean? So I walk round, to be fair, it is about a square 500 yards.
Yeah.
Right? It's sort
Your
of
house is in the centre.
yeah. I walk, and, so I walk round and look at placards. I go, that's a nice office, and I phone them up. There's loads of different people I'm dealing with, right? And I went, oh, we got one in so-and-so street. I think it was 5th Street or something. I went, oh yeah, I went along to, I'll see you there in 20 minutes. I got there. You were there, if you remember. I looked round and I said to Steve, it looks alright. There's no pawn shops or anything like that, right? And Steve went, well, it is next to a brothel. And I looked, and there on the next thing, like, you know, model, 1st floor, Susie, 03, and I phoned him and I said, do you know what? Don't bother coming here. No, I said, no, I said, because it's next to a brothel. He went, yeah. I went, right, okay. Just for future reference, I don't want an office literally next to a brothel, right? When I go to work, I don't want to walk past prostitutes. Call me old-fashioned.
Yeah,
right?
as you go into work, there's a prostitute.
Yeah.
Morning.
Oh, she's got a cappuccino. Yeah, Starbucks, yeah. Business good? Yeah, it's a bit slow at the moment. It picks up later this evening, does it really? Good. And, I said to him, I've got so my New Year's resolution is being like a little fascist when it comes to business. And I said, also future reference, no crack dens and no wild animals in the porch. And, I just can't believe it. There's always something wrong. We went to one, right? It got there, right? And, a woman said, oh, I'm new here. She didn't know what keys she was using. And she went, it's the 3rd floor. And she went, there's no point, we won't both get in the lift. I went, right, will you get a desk in the lift? Right, she went, I've got a chair in the lift before. Brilliant. So, just find me an office, Rathbone Place, sort of Percy Street, Charlotte Street, Dean Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1st or 2nd floor.
I'm worried we're going to get emails from estate agents, phone calls from them. You know what those people are like.
But I don't look at the emails.
True. Fair enough.
So, play a record. Sexist. Joe Jackson, different for girls.
Well, he's not in the charts anymore.
I can't believe it.
Unbelievable. You were talking about renting an office. I'm a little bit intimidated because I'm just at the moment thinking about trying to buy a flat or something because I'm just tired of pissing money down the drain.
I know. Yeah.
And but I'm really petrified. I've put it off because I'm really gullible. When I'm confronted with anyone in a suit who sort of knows what they're talking about, they can sell me anything. I'm intimidated. It's like, you know how you're supposed to go in there and you're supposed to sort of act like you're the guy with the money, this is what I want, this is what no. But I go in there and it's like I'm afraid they're gonna say, clear off, I don't wanna sell you a house. I'm not interested.
Have you ever thought of like, really putting on sort of like some sort of cool air? Like, sort of like kicking the door and going, what's that? Is it like, you'd be found out in 30 seconds, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
You'd go in there, you'd stub your toe, and they go, what do you keep like, I've got a toe, I've got a toe.
Exactly, yeah.
Brilliant.
Just tapping the walls.
Yeah, tapping the wall. What's the rates? What rates? I don't know.
Well, do you remember, I don't know if I told you before, I went to buy a laptop computer, and everyone said, go up Tottenham Court Road, and I was reading, like, magazines and stuff, they were saying haggle, make sure you haggle, make sure you're planning to haggle, get the best deal you can. And I found a shop which was selling the computer I wanted, and I went in there, and I had this whole plan in my mind of what was gonna happen. He was gonna say, like, it's worth this, I'm gonna go, well, look, I can get it cheaper here, I wanna buy it from you, I'm gonna haggle, and off I went. So I went in the shop, and I said, yeah, looking for this, interested in this Toshiba. How much is it? He went, oh, it's 1,500 quid. I went, sure. Okay. I said, I'll give you 1,300. He went, it's 1,500. And I said, sure, but I'm willing to give you 1,300. He went, 1,500. And I was done already because he hadn't even begun to haggle. And I was assuming he'd at least go 1,400 and we could start, but nothing. So now I was screwed. My whole plan went out the window.
Yeah. Well, you just leave.
No, I said to him, the thing is, I can get this computer cheaper down the road, but, you know, I like what you're providing me, I like your service. I've had good stuff about you. It was amazing, I said, I've heard good stuff about you. And he went, I said, seriously, I can walk down the street, I can buy it there for cheap, for like 1,400. And he went, well, see you later then. And I was like, right. So I walked out the place. I said, well, I'm gonna have to leave then. And I walked out the place, and, of course I wanted to get it from there, because it was still the cheapest, so I had to walk back in again. I went, yeah. I've just had some second thoughts. Listen, I'll tell you what, I'll pay the 1,500, can I get a free carry case? He went, the carry case is free anyway. I said, I'll take it.
Carry case is free
I got nothing.
No, but how much would you charge for that if it was on sale? Carry case a tenner. Well, let's just say it is a tenner. Give it to me for free. And he went, no, it's a tenner. And you went, well, you said it was free a minute.
Yeah. It's just pathetic.
That is lovely.
It's having to walk out making a big statement and then come back in again.
Oh dear.
So I'm really scared. I feel like I need someone to come with me and do all the talking. You know what they're talking about. Because I'm not going to be able to tell if there's subsidence or if there's damp or...
No, but you don't do that.
Don't I? Is that not my responsibility?
No, you get a survey done.
Sure.
And they charge for that, and then yeah, you don't have to go around doing it yourself.
Right. Could I make a saving if I did it myself?
Yeah, this should be alright.
Yeah.
There's a hole in the wall, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's a hole in the wall?
Put some newspaper over
in
that.
Chaucer's day, that was the toilet. That'd be fine. Karl, you're a second-time buyer, aren't you? But
Yeah. Bought one in Manchester. Lost £7,000 on that one.
Well, don't buy in Manchester.
No, it's a good flat, it's just it wasn't... I didn't buy it to sort of make money, I thought I was going to be living there, like, all my life. And then a job came up here, and it was like, oh...
You bought your first flat in Manchester, you assumed you would be living there for the rest of your life.
Well, I wasn't in a rush.
Play a record, you're an idiot.
Hang on a minute, so have you got a property portfolio? Have you got the two houses now?
No, I've got rid of that one.
Oh, you sold that one?
Got this flat.
£7,000
Got
loss.
this flat. I'll tell you something that is interesting.
Hold on, though.
What?
£7,000 lost. It's a flat in Manchester, but it could only cost about £8,000 anyway.
Right, Steve, something they do now, right, they've got to do by law when you're buying, right? I was looking at one in London, right? It's haunted. They've got to tell you now.
Right, don't talk shit.
I'm telling you
now.
Play
a record.
I'm telling you now.
Yeah. There's no such thing as ghosts. That is ridiculous if that appears on a legal document.
Right, if there's anyone who sells flats and does that for a living.
Yeah.
Right, email in, because I'm telling you now, that is a fact. She sort of dropped it in. I said, oh, you know, nice feel there. And she said, yeah, well, that'll be the ghost. Just dropped it in, that's all we've got to do. And then I was like, what? And they went, oh, yeah.
That's what I've got to do, is it? So that's the legal thing. Did you drop it in? So in court you go, did you drop it in? Yeah, I dropped it in. Play a record, you're an idiot. That's David Gray, and this year's Love, if you're in love. I hope it lasts. It's only January. What you got for us,
I just thought we ought to maybe go through some of the emails. I mean, I don't want to query the calibre of some of the emails we get sent on this show, but, here's a typical one, Rick.
Go on.
There's no name, it's just from Glicko, that's his email address. That's just a question to you, Rick. Did I see you walking around Marylebone High Street last Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
I was in Marylebone High Street last Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, but did you see Glicko?
I didn't see Glicks.
Okay.
I didn't see the Glickster,
Alright, this is one from M. Ricky, what do you think of Richard Bacon's show? I can't decide if he's better than you.
Nor can I.
Any thoughts?
Nor can I can't help her out on that one.
Sure.
That's a really personal thing. She's got to dig deep. She's got to look at both of us. She's got to find out what she likes.
Yeah.
And then whether I provide more of that than Baker's.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Baker Foyle's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put myself up against him, so I can't help you. Next, Steve, next.
Well, there's a lot of emails last week, which were saying how much they enjoyed the Christmas specials. Thank you very much for that. That's very flattering of you. There was also a couple... There was one, it was a guy, I'm sorry that I think I might have deleted it, but I should have sent a reply, because there was a guy from Canada saying, if there any chance you're around in March, whether you could pop in and have a surprise birthday dinner for his wife.
Oh, why do you keep that?
I know, sorry about that.
I can't let it go now, can I, you idiot?
Okay. I really apologise for that.
Yeah.
There's also, this is interesting, this is more for Karl, really. It seems unlikely.
Is it from a doctor saying you're an idiot?
We've got plenty of those, I tend to delete them.
Okay, right, yeah. Look at his face!
No, it just says, don't like to complain, but I won the film competition about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and I haven't received my prizes.
Oh dear, that's all Karl has to do on the show. We provide the chat, the records, the light entertainment, the
glamour.
Strokes of comedy genius. All Karl has to do is send out the prizes and say, there was a monkey that was a bank robber at 5 to 3.
Yeah. What's your excuse, Karl?
Do you remember her winning? I've got all.
Well, you calling her a liar?
Well, I am, because I don't remember ever seeing...
Right, he's calling her a liar.
So, Joanne Ogden, you're claiming, is just making this up. She sent this in on a whim, trying to fool us and get some cheap tat.
Wow.
I don't believe that. I don't believe anyone would lie to try and get knowing me, knowing you on VHS. I really don't.
Well, I'll look in the records, because we keep all the details, so... You know what I mean?
Right. Well, one of you's in the wrong. Do you know what? Knowing you, Karl, I don't think it's Joanne.
No.
Has anyone else ever emailed in saying they haven't got the, like a trap? No, they haven't.
Well, one mistake's one too far, because that's one person. So, you might send out 30, but that one person, that's the first time they've won a competition. They want the history of Wind, narrated by Donald McIntyre on VHS.
Yeah.
And,
Stephen King's It on Betamax.
Yeah. No, sometimes they want the best of Primal Scream on a cassette.
Exactly.
So,
got to make sure you're sending these prizes out. Final email from Andy. He says, the webcam, is pointing at the ceiling. Is it because the air conditioning vent is more exciting than what happens on the show?
Let's put that down now.
I think that's absolutely right.
Hold on a minute. Now, just, if someone... Is that good?
People love the webcam. I don't know what they're interested in, because all I get is a picture of Karl's big head.
It's not as big, it's just round.
Oh.
Got it right.
Yeah.
Karl, I'd like you to play the next tune. I got sent a little cheeky, primer for The Cure's Join the Dots. It's B-sides and rarities, lots of stuff from them, from all over the ages. And it's amazing how good their B-sides are. Here's one of them playing.
Yeah.
Cure. And that's called A Man Inside My Mouth, which was the B-side to Close to Me. There's nothing amusing about that, Rex. I don't know why you're laughing.
Wow.
It's called A Man Inside My Mouth.
Yeah, I know.
And that's fine.
Yeah, it's like, the little man inside your head.
Yeah. If a man wants to be inside anyone's mouth, that's good, good luck to him. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
But I agree.
Yeah.
Karl, do you agree with that?
What man in your head? What does that mean?
It's brilliant. Yeah.
Extraordinary.
He doesn't even understand schoolboy carry-on innuendo. I know the fact that the play on words is too fouling. What does it mean on site, the erection? And what? What do you mean dumplings? Huh?
You're a fan of The Simpsons. You know that character in The Simpsons, the, gap-toothed yokel?
Yeah.
If I look at Karl when he's perplexed, Cletus.
Yeah.
It's the kind of cliche comic book thing of having a mouth wide open to suggest formlessness. Oh. It's amazing.
Or an accommodating come on.
Yes. Absolutely.
Karl. That little man inside your head, it's what, people use it as your conscience, don't they?
Alright.
Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah.
No?
No.
No? Okay.
I was watching Moonraker. It was on, I think it was last week.
Yeah.
I don't know how familiar you are with the James Bond films.
I don't think I've ever watched a Bond film from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I've never watched one on DVD, and I've never gone to cinema to watch one, and I'm not usually in on Easter Saturday.
Exactly.
Honestly.
The thing about James Bond, when I was younger, I thought he was amazing. I just thought he was the ultimate cool, sophisticated hero. Do you know what I mean? My dream as a kid, like when I say kid, I mean a teenager, was to come home, which invariably he did. He'd come back to his hotel suite, he'd open the door, there'd be a trail of clothes, and he'd follow it and go into the bedroom, there'd be a beautiful woman in the bed,
You'd have said, clean up, what are you doing? You're messy. I'm gonna get my mum to clean all this up now.
Mum,
she's got a bad back.
There's a nudie lady in my bed. And as I say, I used to think he was really cool and sophisticated, and it's only of late that I've sort of revisited these films, and I tell you what, it's his jokes.
Oh!
He is the most infuriating man ever.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know why people in the films consider him so... I mean, I think the reason that women in the films are always being seduced by him is because, if you notice, they've normally got English as a second language.
Right.
So they don't understand. So when he's making those jokes...
So they don't know when he goes, just keeping the British end up.
Yeah, I'm just attempting re-entry.
Yeah.
If I was a British woman, she'd be going, what?
Yeah,
don't
say that. That sounds awful, and it's a terrible pun,
so
Roger.
rude, what am I?
Yeah, what am I? Yeah. And they just laugh.
And they just laugh coquettishly and then, you know, unzip their dress normally. But some of the guys, there was one where he's being chased by a guy in a moped or something, and the guy plummets off a cliff and smashes through a van which is full of feathers, and he plummets to his death, and Bond just says, all those feathers, and he still couldn't fly. What are you talking about? What do you mean it's not a joke? It's just words. There's one where in Moonraker, he punches this guy, he's having a fight, he punches him through a plate glass window, and he lands on a piano, and Bond goes, play it again, Sam. I remember there's the one in one of the early films where he throws a guy in the bath and electrocutes him by throwing in a thing, and then he goes absolutely shocking. But I'm just thinking, you just killed a man.
I know.
You're a psychopath.
Yeah.
And it's just so excruciating. If someone was doing those kind of jokes in the office, you would hate them. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't want to talk to them. They'd be a bore.
I know. Yeah. Everything's a little one-liner. I know, and everything's a pun.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, he's a bloody good secret agent, Steve.
That's true.
So, you know, they're not hired for their, you know, wit and, you know, stand-up ability.
Exactly.
So, you know, it swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
I doubt Johnny Vegas could, save the world.
That's true enough, yeah.
So, think on. Different people, different needs. Kings of Leon. California Waiting on XFM 104.9. Do you know what, Steve? We get emails and, you know, we got our posters up around this show and, people enjoy it. But I don't think we get the credit we deserve for picking the music. It's
true.
Because we're totally unplaylisted, and I don't know if people know about this, that mine and Steve's sort of first passion before comedy is probably music. We're really, we love playing each other sort of records and that. And maybe when we come back, we should do a show where there is no pressure to, you know, like, Karl doesn't press the buttons for us, pre-record it, where we swap each other's sort of ideas for music.
It'd be like, the Ricky Gervais compilation tape.
Well, sort of like, we're not talking John Peel, where we try and find obscure Belgian jungle and do demos. You know, everything from, you know, Kings of Leon, Lou Reed, you know, maybe a bit of 80s stuff that people have forgotten about.
Beautiful songs.
So what do you think?
I'd love to do that, Rick. I mean, genuinely, there's nothing more exciting to me than introducing to someone a song which they then go on and they love, and they listen, maybe they buy the album,
But that's something to think about, maybe, for later.
Yeah. Well, it's like you say, the pressure to kind of come up with some, you know, high caliber chat between each record, it takes the toll.
But, yeah, and that's, you know, it's a passion of ours and we'd love to, but now, it's Rockbusters.
Can I just say something now, before we do Rockbusters? A lot of people they come up to me, they say, Steve, we like the show. When are you gonna get rid of Rockbusters? It brings it down. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. There is lots of people.
Come on, let Karl speak.
Come off it.
What?
Come off it.
What?
I know people who say, you're never gonna stop that, are you? So, one of us is lying again.
Well, not really. You know, I'm talking about people who listen to the show. You're talking about Suzanne, your girlfriend.
Oh, Martin. He'll be at home now with a pad, getting ready to play.
But I should just...
Max Freeman did encourage Karl on a couple of occasions. He even tried to get him through with the answer egg when we were doing that naming animal round.
Yes.
So,
but I should just say that people think that somehow Ricky and I are endorsing Rockbusters, that somehow by allowing it on the show, somehow we think it's good or we appreciate it. And I need to point out that it's more like when a child comes back from school and they've done a painting. Yeah. It's crap.
Yeah.
But of course you've got to stick it on the fridge.
Bigger than the house.
You've got to stick it on the fridge because otherwise the kids can get upset.
In this next episode, you've got to remember the cat is bigger than the house.
Exactly. It doesn't look like anything.
The humans don't have bodies, their legs come straight from their head.
Yeah. Mummy and Daddy.
Please welcome to the stage, Karl Pilkington's Rockbusters.
Right. Right, so, cryptic clues, initials, and you work it out and you email in and that.
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah.
Don't be stealing my tools. Take your sister's. Alright, and the initials NK.
Don't be stealing my tools. Take my sister's.
Yeah, so that's like the cryptic clue, and the initials of the artist or band is NK. Alright? Second one. Buy it if you want, not bothered, think about it. Come back. Right, come back if you want.
Start again, Karl! That's halfway through! Right, start that second one again!
Right, well, you can buy...
Different Well, the first one was, bite. Well, no, this one was, yeah, well, write it down, bite. Right, do it. If it's a cryptic clue, all the letters count. Do it.
Buy it if you want, I'm not that bothered. You know, think about it, come back, check some other places out first before you know.
That was a crossword clue! In the Times! So we've got no time for other clues. Right.
So that's S-C.
Right, do that clue again.
Buy it if you want, I'm not fussed, do you know what I mean? Think about it.
Fast has made an appearance! Fast wasn't there before! Do the clue again! Do the clue again!
Initials SC for that one.
Do the clue again!
I don't want to do it again.
You haven't finished it yet?
I have, that's it.
No, do the clue again.
I can't do it again.
Do the clue again.
Buy it if you want, I'm not fussed, right? Shop around. Come back. It's up to you. I'm not pushing you into anything.
It's up to you, wasn't there?
SC for that one, right? And the final one, that's good, I can play 10-pin bowling again.
Okay, and what's the clue?
That's O.
Oh.
Alright, so...
Okay, now I assume that I'm not going to bother to look, but I assume there's a jiffy bag of tax which people can win. Alright, well, great, good luck. Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk is the email address.
Thorns?
No, buy it if you want. I'm not fussing. Come back, have a look round. I'm open Wednesdays, by the way. Shut up, Thorns. See you later. The Thorns and No Blue Sky, off their album, of last year, which is probably my favourite album of the year. I've started getting into that sort of like music, more serious thing, in case we do it.
I mean, I don't know, from that comment, maybe we should do some preparation.
Pre-record it.
Yeah.
So we can sort of like cut all the ums and ahs and
like
me sort of like eating a sandwich while it's on, singing along, tapping a little bit. Yeah. I won't lay down like this either. We'll get me a chair that I can sort of be upright so I can enunciate.
You weren't in there, were you, when Karl was singing along to Oliver's Army?
No.
It was a joy. Checkpoint Charlie. Oliver's Army. No idea.
Oh, bless him.
No,
Rockbusters well on the way. Any right answers yet, Karl?
Let's just check. Let me see, we got, one email.
One email?
No.
No, because they probably don't make sense.
Yeah, no responses whatsoever.
There's some on the text and that.
Really?
83 XFM if you want to do it on the old,
Speak up, Karl. Just on the radio. Steve, no, we're on the radio, we're live.
Just letting you know, do it on the text if you want. Send it in on the text.
Well, what is it? Say it!
83 XFM.
Right.
Right?
What's the email address again?
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
Are you tired today, Karl? Are you just bored, or...?
No, I'm alright, I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Steve?
Yeah, well, no, I just wanted to mention to you, I went to, a pub near my house recently. I found out that there was a pool hall.
Oh, yeah.
Like a pool club there. I love pool. I like to think of myself as looking a little bit like Paul Newman in The Hustler.
Yeah.
When I'm shooting pool.
Yeah.
And, I went down there, and I went with my flatmate, and, it's quite a seedy pub, in many respects. There's a lot of weird people in there, like alcoholics, and...
Why'd they go there?
It's strange, isn't it?
Weird, isn't it? Yeah. Go on.
And, very, very odd people. And, so he's a little bit nervous, and he says, I'm a bit worried, because there's a lot of kind of, you know, there's people from the estate, the nearby council estate, you know.
Yeah.
For want of a better word, scum. You know, and, so he's a bit edgy, and, bizarrely, because I so wanted to people, I said to him, he went, I'm a bit scared about going in. I went, don't worry, you're with me.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I don't know what that means. They're going to think, oh, wait a minute, the 6-foot guy with the lanky guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mess with him.
You go there, they take your glasses off and you go, I've lost.
Exactly.
That's it, I'm out of here.
This is why I've never got into a fight, because if my glasses are gone, I'm screwed. That's the first thing
you're really short-sighted, aren't you?
I'd be absolutely done for.
And are you nervous are you sort of like nervous without them?
You know, whenever you see like a kind of action film or whatever, or maybe like a horror film.
The nerd loses glasses
and he's travelling around on the floor.
Is that you, is it?
Coming behind him. That's me.
Really?
Yeah, done for. Absolutely done for.
What did you do when you were at school, when you had to play tennis or football or rugby or something?
Kept them on.
That's dangerous,
Well, of course it is. That's why I was never, you know, as good at rugby as I probably could have been. You know, because of course you can. How can you play rugby with glasses on? I'm in the scrum going, careful! Your boots! Hello!
Yeah. Never mind me nads.
Exactly.
Watch my glasses.
But, so I went in there, because I used to, I used to do judo when I was very young.
Well, that's impossible.
But this is ludicrous.
That must go falling off.
Oh, of course.
What about gaffer tape? Just sort of like round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I bought something like a kind of a sports strap to keep them on, and it just pushed them right into my eyes. I could barely see. I was blinded. But I swear, when I used to go to judo, I'm sure that the other kids were being taught, right, just knock Steve's glasses off. Knock his glasses off, you can get him. So I'm always a bit edgy about fights, but for some reason I felt super confident going in there. I was like, swaggered in, and, into the pool hall, and it's one of those places you've got to sort of knock, it's like a speakeasy, you've got to knock, and they open the door and you come in. And, I'm in there, and, one
of those things you slide, like a little letterbox, they slide over. You knock, you open it up, you put your face there, you just knocked your glasses off.
And, so I went in there, and, in a way, my flatmate was justified in being a little bit edgy, because, the conversation we could overhear, the table next to us, we were playing pool, the guy next to us was going, yeah, of course, the bloody police. Spent Boxing Day in the Nick. Absolute nightmare.
You're getting nervous.
So I was getting a little bit edgy, because I didn't know, but then I thought, you know, they don't mess with their own. We're almost like gangsters ourselves, because we're there in the lion's den, do you know what I mean? We'll probably be fine. So then, there's just an old guy serving at the bar, you know, in his 50s, and some guys go over to the jukebox, some young kids, they're just hanging out in the pool hall, they're pretty cool. They put some money in the jukebox, and in first track, Coldplay. Fine, I'm thinking that's nice, I'm playing pool. Second track, hardcore German techno. and they put in about 50 quid's worth, it seemed, because it just went on. Really thumping, kind of like GABA stuff. Old guy at the bar, just nodding his head, cleaning the glass.
Yeah.
So into this...
Piano player, furious.
Exactly. Into this comes, like, what appear to be a family of holidaymakers with kids. So they've entered this, like, seedy pool hall. We've got, you know, the Cray twins playing pool next to me. They come in, the German techno's blaring. They come in, and there's, like, kids, you know, and they've got the baby in one of those little pouches, and they sit down, and, the weirdest thing was one of the guys, the uncle, let's say, of the he picked up the kid, and he was about to put the baby down in a chair, and I thought, hang on, that's quite a hard-backed chair. And as he did it, the baby's head just went fa-doom and hit the back of the chair, and just flipped back and hit the back of the chair, because he just lumped it down in the head. And it started screaming, it crying, you know, and the, teenagers were rocking to that, they loved it. And he came over, and it was transparent what had happened, and the mum was going, what's happened? The baby's crying. And he went, I don't know what happened. And I wanted to lean over and go, you lying swine! You know what happened? You just hit his head. I wanted to go, just take her aside and say, never let him handle your baby again.
No, the head was wobbling around, he put it on that heavy, I could see it come in.
I don't know, who knows, you might turn out like Karl now.
That's a point.
But what do you do in those situations? You know, do you...
Well, I'm assuming by the way you're taking it lightly, the baby wasn't hurt in any way, just made his... Well then...
But it was still a big
You keep out of it, don't you? What are you gonna do? Call the authorities and go, it was him?
Yeah. But, I don't know, I mean, I don't want to name the place in case I get knifed.
I imagine you trying to swagger it when you overheard him talk on the neck. I imagine you know him go, yeah, pigs. Sorry? Yeah, I ate the pigs as well. No, I'm a lawyer. I was down there. Oh yeah. Sure. Oh dear.
But, I'll be going back there. I feel like I'm...
That's it. I mean, I've told you before, Steve, stay away from working class people and bad men in trainers. Because, you know, you hang on with ne'er-do-wells, and you're gonna get your glasses knocked off.
It's true.
Jet. Roll over DJ on XFM 104.9. Carl, you promised me that you were gonna reintroduce Educating Ricky.
Yeah, we can do that.
Have you got it? Have you got something that will, that's something that I won't know that's correct, and that will interest me?
Yeah, there's loads of stuff.
Is it anything to do with monkeys?
No, we've got monkey news.
We've got monkey news coming up, of course we have. Monkey news people, and they're now over to, XFM for monkey news with Karl Pilkington.
No, we won't do that yet, we're not doing that yet. Educating Ricky is...
Yeah. Well, let's do it.
We did it ages ago.
Educating Ricky. Oh, that's interesting, and it's correct.
Hang on a minute, though. What I do is, I tease you, don't I, with headlines.
Oh, go on then.
And then, you have to sort of go, that one sounds good.
Go on then, what are the
I want to know more about that, educate me.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
You've got, well...
Jeez.
That Nelly died.
That Nelly died, alright.
Okay, could be about an elephant. Yeah. Go on.
You've got that, you've got, well...
I got well. Take well as read. So they all start with well. Okay.
Knob body has been that lucky before.
Brilliant, alright.
Okay.
You've got get a lobe of this court case.
Right, okay.
Not bad.
I'm going for nobody has been that lucky before.
Right, it's a story about this kid who was born, right?
Was he?
Yeah, he was popped out, like, and the dad and the mum saw the baby, and it was like, oh, that's a good-looking little kid.
Sure.
And they were proud and that. And then,
they're surprised it's a good-looking little kid, it's theirs.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been it could have been a frog, and they'd have gone, oh, he's got your eyes.
And then, the doctor goes, yeah, it is, but, look at that.
What?
He said, it's a boy, and, hasn't got a knob.
I love the doctor saying that. I love this GP.
Right.
Oh, this midwife saying that. Oh, I love little boy. Yeah, but no knob, baby. Mr. and Mrs. I mean, think.
Right. No, but I'm speeding it up a bit.
Alright, come on, so the baby's
Right, so the
born,
baby's like
and
that,
doctor says,
and the doctor says that, and the woman's like, oh, it's our first as well, and stuff, right? She's really gutted.
What's the second going to be like?
So,
No head.
Just a knob.
doctor says, yeah.
They call it Karl. Well, go on.
Right, go on.
So the doctor says, well, I'll leave it with you for a bit, get used to the idea, right?
As opposed to throwing it away.
So he wanders off.
Yeah.
He comes back with a smile on his face, right?
Found the knob.
So the mum and dad are like, what are you smiling about? He said, you're not going to believe this. Baby's just been born. It's got 2. Right? You can have one of them. And they did a little operation.
Where did you get this information from?
That's in a book.
What book?
Is it the same as the book that you carry round with you?
No.
With the woman with 3 legs, the juggler with 9 arms, and the bloke who found shagging a chicken under a rock? Is it in that book?
Weird though, isn't it?
Well, it's not true.
It is true.
What, in the same hospital, there was a baby born without a knob. Luckily, it's Karl.
It happened.
You're not, you swear to God you're not making
The
it up.
doctor came back
honest to God.
smiling, because you won't believe it. There's a baby there with an excess of a knob.
It happened, honestly. I'm not, all these things are not made up, the educating stuff. That's why I do it, innit? Teaching you stuff. Always teaching you stuff.
Alright, if anyone can confirm the baby with no knob,
they're
the
going to
baby with
confirm it,
2.
because they're going to go to the same dubious website that Karl got it from.
I always try to be level-headed and reasonable in these situations. You always
It's
ignore
always
it.
Guatemala or Mexico. Rodriguez was born without a knob. Luckily, baby next door, and then was on 2 knobs. What a load of shite. Play a record.
There's still more to come.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to it. Was it Nelly?
Nearly dead.
It nearly died.
Nelly died.
Bones. Radiohead off the Benz album. I mean, might be my favourite album of all time.
You said it before, yeah. I can't say I've ever really got into it. I remember when it came out, it was just so ubiquitous everywhere, I never really bothered listening
I
to
can
it.
still listen to it every day. I mean, that might be sad, I don't know. But it's a fantastic album.
Yeah.
On XFM 104.9, just practicing for when we,
Talk about music.
talk more about music than maybe monkeys and people born without knobs, baby. Karl, any other thoughts?
Well, I'm not gonna tell you any more educating stuff yet.
You're gonna tease me with that, are you?
Leave you with, it nearly died.
Yeah.
And get a load of this court case, right? But I want you thinking about
Yeah, thinking about it, yeah, just getting my red juices ready.
things like that.
Yeah, like an aperitif, yeah, sure.
But, I've just educated you,
Yeah.
right? And I watched The Office Christmas stuff on, last Sunday.
Do you enjoy it?
I think it was good.
Good.
I think it was good.
Thank
it
you
was
very
up there with one of my favourites. The second one was good.
Yeah, okay, your second one, there's more the paybacks in the second one, the first one's more set up.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd have thought people would like the second one more.
Yeah.
So that's nice. That's a nice critique, thank you, Karl.
But there was something in it you did about cavemen.
Cavemen?
You said something about, it was a fact about caveman, and you sort of only half did it. You didn't give the full information, like,
What?
kind of doing that. You just,
Where was it? What bit was it?
it was the bit when you were talking about getting a woman, I think, or you were talking about breasts, or...
Oh, the one where I said people are, the reason women have cleavage is it reminds men of buttocks, because when we were cavemen we used to do you from behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the blind date, yeah.
Is that a joke, or...?
Well, I was hoping it was funny. We were... Oh, you mean, no, I don't know. Yeah, I think I did. I think cleavage is meant to represent, in a sort of Desmond Morris pop sort of anthropology type way. I think I've seen that before, that cleavage represents buttocks, and I imagine, you know, cavemen probably did do it from behind. I don't know what you want to know, Karl, really. It's in a sitcom, it wasn't a documentary.
It looked like one.
Yeah. Brilliantly directed to look like one, I'll give you that.
No, but what you're saying, so blokes like...
Yeah, I think cleavage is represented like buttocks, because obviously buttocks were much more of a sexual organ, evolutionary speaking. Breasts were to actually bring up, to suckle young, but, and were a sign of sexual maturity, so you're ready to mate. But whereas, Karl, I'm not an anthropologist, mate, I'm struggling here, what do you need to know?
But
yeah, I imagine that the cleavage reminds you of an arse.
Right, well, if it's all about arse, why don't gays like a little bit of tit? No, do you know what I mean?
You've done me! So the question put to us today on XFM 104.9, please call me McDonald's, is, if it's all about arse, then why don't gays like a little bit of tit?
I was worried
if it's all about arse, why don't gays like tit? If it's all about arse, why don't gays like tits? Just call in with your... Thanks very much for tuning in. This is in children's TV. If it's all about arse, why don't gays like tit?
It's still been an hour and a quarter before we got round to gays, so it's getting too late on the appearance.
If it's all about arse, why don't gays like a bit of tit? Is the question. What a brilliant question. Well, if you're an anthropologist or a psychologist, a doctor, a gay, please call in. If it's all about arse, this is the question.
I'm not convinced by this whole, cleavage looks like an arse, that's
no, not Steve, nor am I.
It's
a bit of mock anthropology. I didn't think it would be under scrutiny.
I think it's more likely that the reason men find cleavage attractive is because they know there's a lovely pair of Bristols down there.
Yeah, so
it's like, here we are.
If that's what's on show...
Exactly, imagine what's down below.
If that's in the front window, right,
yeah,
what's you got to go into the shop? Oh, dear! The Coral, Bill Mackay, on XFM 104.9. If it's all about arses, Steve, why don't gays like a bit of tit?
I think there might be a lecture on that at the Royal Institute tonight, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, I think he's giving it a...
Brilliant.
Tell you something else, though, that's about cavemen and that.
Yeah.
Right?
Not really, go on.
Do you know,
I love the idea of a little gay fella. He's pulled a bird. He's just all he's done is focused on the cleavage, and he's gone, "That's a lovely arse." Right? He's got a back. Why do pulls the dress down. No, where's the arse? I've been gone. There's boobs. Boobs. I hate them. They're my worst. No. Right. Sorry, Karl.
cavemen and that.
Yeah. Back to it. Doesn't drop a beat, does he?
Do you know, like, when you get a bit scared, and the hairs on your back and that sort of go up?
Well, I haven't got a particularly hairy back, but go on.
No, but on your neck or whatever,
yeah.
On your head.
Do you know...
Not in your case, but sure.
Do you know where that comes from? Do you know why that happens?
Why it happens?
Yeah.
To look more fierce.
Yeah.
Probably residue of, like, the erectile tissue with the, you know, would make you look apes, and that would make you look slightly bigger, your outline bigger.
Hmm.
Is that the answer?
Yeah, just cavemen in front of dinosaurs and that, they sort of went, oh. And then...
Well, it wasn't cavemen in front of dinosaurs, was it? Because cavemen weren't alive when dinosaurs were alive.
There was a couple knocking about.
Right, okay, fair enough.
There was a crossover point, surely.
Not dinosaurs like you're
15 million. Was the, yeah, probably the Ice Age, there were still big reptiles.
I think it's fairly common knowledge that the dinosaurs did not exist.
Well, who gave the dinosaurs a name?
Well, no. Well, no.
Who gave the dinosaurs the names?
He's using cavemen as any genus of Homo.
Right.
I know he's thinking of the Flintstones,
Yes.
but I'm giving him a bit of, I'm giving him, like, you know, an instep into evolution here. But,
I should just point out, you know cavemen didn't have cars which they motored by running along the street.
And they didn't mix cement in pelicans.
You're aware of that?
Right. Go on, Karl.
Should we have the Rockbusters answers?
Yeah,
You've got to get
I'd
that out of the way.
love to. Number one was, don't be stealing my tools. Take your sisters. The initials were NK. That was Nick Ursel. right?
Nick Ersall?
Nick Ersall, 80s.
I don't know. I've never heard of that band.
Nick Kershaw.
Nick Kershaw, yeah. Nick. Sorry, what? I don't understand it. Nick. How does Nick Kershaw?
Second one.
No! Don't move on! Nick Ersall! What's Nick Ersall? Jesus.
Alright.
It doesn't count, it's not a clue!
But let's just leave it behind us, alright?
Second one was, buy it if you want. You know, I'm not bothered. You can think about it, come back, have a look around, think it over. I'm not fussed. The initials were SC. That was soft sell. Right?
That works.
Yeah.
Well done.
That works.
Right. And that's good. I can play 10-pin bowling again. That's O. That's outcast. Alright?
What?
What does that mean? Outcast?
You're out, you broke your arm. Right? Got the cast
that's
off it.
ridiculous.
That's ludicrous.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
You broke your arm, you were in a cast, you got rid of the cast, you're outcast.
Did anyone get that?
Yeah.
I mean, I am stunned.
I think, to be fair, that was because how many bands begin with O?
Yeah.
I think that's why people got it.
Exactly. But they were guesses, yeah. I could probably make Oasis work if I tried hard enough.
We've done that.
Oh, pardon me.
So, outcast.
That's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
But
We've
it's
had worse than that.
ridiculous.
We've had worse than that.
The leap to
We had
bowling.
worse than that!
No,
Imagine that!
I remember when I did my wristing, then it fixed, I went 10-pin bowling.
Why did you do your,
So it's what you did. Brilliant. So next week's quiz is what am I thinking? You're an idiot, Karl. Play a record.
Who's the winner?
Why did you do your wristing?
Crash. A
what?
Crash. A crash.
You had a crash?
Yeah.
That sounds like a story we've not explored.
Not much to it. I just went on a free, sort of rally day. Got in this car, I'd been working all night, right, so I wasn't the best condition to be whizzing around a track in a car.
Sure.
Like a Formula 1 type car.
Yeah.
Spun out of control, hit some mud, smashed it all in, wrote it off, and I didn't realise I'd done a load of damage until...
Well, you landed on your head, but you were fine.
Yeah.
Who's the winner?
Mike Godley. Bad time from the Jayhawks on XFM 104.9. Steve Merchant, Ricky Gervais, Karl.
We're having a good time.
We are indeed.
Alright. Yeah. Karl, what you got lined up for us now?
Right, well, you've got a choice.
Nearly dead?
You can have a bit of educating.
Yeah, let's have educating. Come on.
Educating, Ricky. Can we just clarify what this is? I think a lot of new listeners perhaps aren't familiar with this.
It's when Karl looks on the internet and finds a weird story about, you know, the double knob, fun, and tells me about it, and it's usually not true.
Okay.
If it is true, I know it already. Go on then, Karl.
They're not really weird stuff, it's just stuff that's gone on. That's interested me, that's all it's about, and I educate about it.
I should just confirm that we've had a number of emails that say the baby born without a knob and then having one transplanted from a baby that luckily enough had two knobs is apparently true.
Yeah, no, listen.
So,
I don't question that you could be born with a deformity and get someone's, you know, fingers, knobs, What I'm saying is, it didn't happen with the doctor goes, I'll leave with it. I don't believe it. That baby's got two knobs.
Exactly.
What a coincidence. I bet that little bit of information isn't in there, is it?
Sure.
That he went out the door, I'm gonna get a coffee, came back, bloody hell, hold on, look, there's an extra knob, I found an extra knob. We put that knob on there. Perfect.
right, well you've opted for the headline, It Nearly Died. Right?
Yeah.
It's about this elephant.
Yeah.
80 years old. In Africa. Right? It's had quite a good life and that. But then what happens is, I don't know what it's been eating, but, his teeth fall out.
Yeah, that's what most elephants die of that, because they grind them down, the teeth, until they can't chew anymore, and most elephants of dying of old age with an elephant is the fact that you haven't got teeth anymore.
Well, it's had a good innings, it was 80.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway.
They used to pop the food up and feed it to it, and it lived quite happily?
No, what they did was, the village got together, said,
shoot the food for
that's
it.
sad, innit? Made it some false teeth. Made it some teeth. Out of wood. Wooden teeth. For this elephant, that's 80. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I don't know if it's true, I mean...
No, it is, forget that. You've been proved wrong once. It is true. What do you think about that?
Karl, it's like saying, yeah, my Auntie Nora saw a ghost. What do you think about that? There's no comment. I can't comment on it.
Would you have gone to the trouble, is what I'm saying?
To build an elephant some teeth?
It's 80.
Yeah.
With all the problems Africa's got and that, and they're messing about making teeth for an elephant.
What problems has Africa got?
Well, there's not enough food to go around, so if an elephant's dead, that's a bit more food left. Do you know what I mean? Why?
Yeah, but you're assuming this is in the middle of a village where there was famine and starvation. It might have been South Africa, Kenya. You don't know. It's not all Ethiopia.
If it was a busy city, people in the village wouldn't have time to be messing about with making teeth and that, would they? It was a little village. Little village.
Yeah.
And a local elephant.
The local elephant. Like a local post office. I'll meet you by the elephant.
No, to be fair, Rick, I think I saw Bob Geldof on TV saying, please, people, stop making elephants' teeth. They are eating all the food, we're sending it over there.
F the number, where's the teeth? I don't know, it's possible.
Send us the
I mean,
teeth.
it's possible. It's possible that they've made this elephant some dentures. It is possible.
Wouldn't it have been easier to just...
Pulp it.
Exactly.
I'd have
Fresh
thought-
it up, serve it some soup or whatever.
Yeah, I think if you're making its teeth, you know, it's a village, so I'd have thought, it's a, you know, I wouldn't have thought it would work for very long, and I wouldn't have thought the elephant would understand that it was teeth, so I wouldn't have been able to thought that the villagers could do it. I mean, top veterinary surgeons could have done something, but I think they made it all goodwill, but I don't want to thought it worked, so they probably end up dying or pulping it like I suggested. But, you know, thanks very much, play a record.
No, but didn't you say something about wooden teeth? Someone, you know, had wooden teeth.
I don't know, I think that was possibly my grandparents.
They had wooden teeth.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was wooden, I think the palate was wood, and then the teeth were, as you would normally
That's
say.
like from the 16th century though, isn't
Well,
it?
it was the 1940s.
They used to hammer them in without anaesthetic.
Really?
Yeah. Just put into the roots, so it wouldn't, oh, God.
That's a rubbish time, isn't it? To live. That's all.
And under the people's teeth, obviously dead people's teeth, you could replace it, just bang it in for a while.
Oh.
Oh, God, unbelievable. Oh, dear. Play a record, Karl.
If you've had your teeth, if you've had teeth hammered into your gums.
Placebo, English Summer Rain on XFM 104.9. Right, okay, you got the final educating Ricky, Karl?
Get a load of this court case.
Yeah.
What happened was, right,
Allegedly.
fella's in court for something that he shouldn't have done, right?
Yeah. You got all the detail then at your fingertips?
And the jury says, he's guilty, right? And the judge went, what, he's not guilty, off you go then, right? He misheard it. He couldn't do anything about it, because once the judge has sort of said, you're not guilty, off you go, you can go home. And the jury were like, what are you doing? They said he's guilty. And he's like...
What do you think of the Thorns album?
I'm quite a big fan, Rick. Yeah, I like that sort of old country sound. I think
I
it's,
know. I like that compilation you made me. That was
that sort of thing.
really good. The Jayhawks. Thanks for that, by the way.
There was the hanging one, wasn't there? There was the hanging one that happened.
Are you still there?
What bands have you been checking out recently? Any new things?
Just exploring all kinds of stuff. Obviously, you know, I like dipping back into the old stuff. I'll tell you what I've been appreciating a lot recently, Rick. Billy Bragg.
Oh, brilliant, yeah.
Great guy.
Isn't he playing
He's
soon?
playing in March, yeah, you might want to try and
You heard
check
about
that out.
the hanging one when
What's
the
this
fella was...
Sorry, mate, go on.
When the fella was hung.
Well hung?
He was hung, and,
Ung?
he'd done
Sorry, what's ung?
he was hung by a rope.
So, isn't that... No, I think it wasn't he, a Chinese emperor? And wasn't he ung?
Yeah.
Sorry, he was ung.
Some fella who'd done something, they hung him.
It's not a word anymore, he was ung.
Well, don't be doing that again, because you said squoze wasn't a word, and then I shown you a menu today that someone sent, and it said fresh orange.
Yeah.
Squoze.
In inverted commas, and next to it was the word colour, spelt C-O-L-O-R. So, presumably either the American menu, right, in which case, there's loads of American words that we don't use, or it's just a badly typed piece of work.
Anyway, there was a bloke that was
He was hung and that, but he didn't die.
Ung on that, he was definitely a Chinese. Ung on that, yeah. I remember him now, yeah.
He didn't die, and they said, oh, just hang on a minute whilst we change the rope and that, and he stood there waiting, changed the rope. They, tried to, you know, do it again, and, didn't work.
It didn't work, right.
So, they got another rope, right? Didn't work. And then they had to let him go, because it's like there's a well-known saying or something from this thing,
Yeah. Have you seen, do you like, Oh My Car's On by, Tim Burton's new single?
I don't know that I'm particularly...
Oh, it's brilliant. Can we play a bit later?
No.
Yeah, can we play it? Let's play a record now and, we'll, talk more a bit later.
Yeah. Hey, can you, Carl, would you shut up?
Oh My Car's On. Tim Burgess. Brilliant. XFM 104.9. Right. Well, we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
We had Karl in a little film, but I think we've really got time for Monkey News, you know?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Karl?
Yeah, if you want to do that.
Yeah, let's do Monkey News.
Alright.
Play the jingle?
Oh, chimpanzee that Monkey News.
Right, there's this monkey, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think his name was number 6 or number 7 or something, right? In this lab, right?
Yeah.
And, anyway, it's in there. With, like, you know, the rabbits and little mice and stuff like that. And,
The rabbit smoking.
the nurse, right? The nurse, not the nurse, the woman who works in the lab, what would you call her? A nurse?
Depends what turns out her job was. If she was a lab assistant, you call her a lab assistant.
Alright.
I mean, they probably call her by her name.
Alright, lab assistant, right?
Kirsty.
So
I
she's,
think it's probably Kirsty.
Right.
Kirsty Morris.
well, she's in there, right?
Yeah.
And she don't work with many people and that, she's mainly on her own with, you know, just putting lipstick on rabbits and stuff like that, right?
Chimpanzee it?
So,
Chimpanzee. She's putting on lipstick chimpanzee. She's got hairy legs.
He gets pally, right, with this woman.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it gets to a point when she sees him every day.
It's the way he tries to string out like it's a narrative love story. The chimp put his hand out and grabbed her, and then you're thinking that he made a move on her.
So,
Right, come on,
he's
let him
allowed
tell
out,
us
he's allowed out.
Oh, it's not a story, is it?
He's allowed out the cage and what have you, anyway, so, he's wandering about, and as time goes on, he's watching what she's doing more and more, right? So, he notices, like, the code on the door, right? Whatever, 247 or whatever,
Yeah.
he goes, right, I've clocked that, I've got
Yeah.
that, I'll remember that, right? And then he goes, right, there's a lot of
Definitely
lipstick and that knocking about, a lot of makeup.
Right, okay. No, there's no way. No! Because,
So-
Steve, you know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen.
So he's there.
It's ridiculous.
And he's going, well, if it's there, you know what I mean? So while she's messing about with the rabbit, he gets there, he's in front of the mirror, putting a little bit of lippy on. Right?
No! I know! It's gone too far! No, it's gone too far, Steve.
Right,
Your mic's off, Rick. He's finishing
Right,
the story.
so-
Turn mine off as well.
It's gone.
It's looking pretty
I
good.
didn't mention the mascara!
It's looking alright, right? So it knows the code on the door, 247, right? So when she's sort of messing about with the rabbit, right, he goes, right, so it knows the code on the door, 247, right? So when she's sort of messing about with the rabbit, right, he goes, right, here's my chance. He's looking good, 247, out the door, action man's there, he's like, alright, Kirsty, right?
Don't talk shit!
I Feel Free from Queen, that's pretty much the last track, isn't it, guys? I imagine on XFM 104.9.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've got nothing to say after that ridiculous story. I mean, that's worse than the bank robbery to me.
Yeah.
That he clocks out, and the bloke on the desk. Alright, Kirsty. Oh, you're 2 foot shorter and hairy.
She's not a looker anyway. So.
She wasn't a looker anyway! Brilliant. Oh, play a record and say to her, we'll see you next week for the last time for a little
She's got ads and...
Oh, adverts? Oh, I'd love to end with adverts.
See you later, it's brilliant, going out on a bang. Fortune Faded by, Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9 with Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington for the last time.
Yes, we've said that before, of course. So don't
Yeah.
get your hopes up.
yeah, we've had some highs, some lows, some laughs, some tears. Karl, you're concentrating. What are you doing?
It's mainly from the audiences.
Yeah. Now, before we get into talking about maybe some of the hijinks we've had, looking back, looking forward as well.
Yeah.
I came in, Karl was sitting at the desk, he went, alright? I went, alright, yeah. He went, see that Alan Clark diaries? I went, no, I didn't. He went, no, alright. A lot of people talking about it. He went, I've never kept a diary. Keeping a diary will always get you into trouble. And I said, like Anne Frank. What did you say, Karl?
The woman in the cupboard?
That's what he said.
The woman in the cupboard.
And I went, save it. Save it.
You never speak to Karl off air. Save it all
I know.
from when we're on the wireless.
He went, but what did she do? What did she do except be in a cupboard? What does she have to write about? and I said, "What are her thoughts?" Do you know Anne Frank?
That's all I know about Anne is. There's no point pretending it.
Anne!
That I know stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
Well, tell us everything you know about Anne Frank.
she was in a cupboard.
Yeah, what else?
If she didn't do that, I wouldn't know about her, seriously. That's all I know about her.
Yeah.
So what did she do?
But what do you how do you think we know about her cupboard because of her book, don't we?
But hang on, what, in the bigger scheme of things, why was she in a cupboard?
I don't know.
Right.
I honestly don't know.
You don't know anything else about Anne Frank beyond the fact that, to quote you, she was in a cupboard.
Well, what's she done then? You tell me, why should I know more about her?
Firstly, I don't think she was in a cupboard.
She wasn't in a cupboard. She was in an attic.
Alright.
Yeah.
So what was she doing?
She was hiding from the
Tidying
Nazis. She was hiding from the Nazis.
But isn't that the first place they'd look? Sort of... work from the top down.
Carl, they weren't specifically looking for Anne Frank.
They weren't going, where is she?
Where's Franker?
If she gets that book out, we are in a deep shit. We've got to stop the book. They were just looking generally. She was, I think she was 13, 14, she was hiding, she was Jewish and she was hiding, lived in Amsterdam, didn't she?
Yeah, as much of her family were having to hide, being helped by, you know, friends, non-Jewish.
In a cupboard. The cupboards, you know.
And how long did she sort of hide up there for?
Until she was caught.
Long enough to write a book.
So she even got caught after all that?
What do you mean, so she even got caught? We're talking about one of the great, you know, humanist tragedies of our times, and you're going, she couldn't even stay hidden.
What do you mean, did she get caught?
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, it's not a great tip then, is it? Do you know what I mean? She didn't do it well. She didn't hide until they escaped it.
Her diaries are not a manual on how to hide from people. It's not how to win at
I don't know anything about her, and we might be going down some ground that's a bit dodgy. I don't know enough about it. Maybe it's best just leaving it. All I was saying is diaries, you know, what do you do them for? Have you kept one, Steve?
Never kept a diary, no.
Right.
I can understand your fear that it might get discovered, someone might read it, find out all about your inner secrets. Of course, the good thing about you is you tell everyone what you think about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
no one's gonna find a diary and go, oh god.
I can't believe it, Carl doesn't like my haircut.
Yeah. Carl thinks I look like Dave Hill from Slade. Yeah, I told you that, didn't I? Yeah, I told you that.
Do you think they'll last, though, diaries and that? No, because they were a bit of a time killer, weren't they? It was something to do at the end of the day, whereas now there's iPods and that. Do you know what I mean?
It's fantastic! The iPod of Anne Frank.
Yeah. No,
new from Sony, that'd be great, wouldn't it? All her greatest hits. Who could forget? Oh,
well,
dear.
leave that then. I didn't know it was that deep. I thought it was just like a, you know...
You thought it was like, didn't you?
Adrian Mole type thing. Yeah, what are we doing?
Thorns, from my favourite album of last year, that. And, I can't remember. We'll be doing a bit of that, playing some of our favourite songs. We've, got a couple of requests.
Oh,
in
really?
fact, yeah, one of them was celebrity requests. Matt Lucas from, Little Britain is listening in.
Oh, yeah.
So it's your last show? I said, yeah. I said, do you want me to play a record? Yes, what's your favourite group? Guess Matt Lucas's favourite group. Now remember, him and David are the new darlings of comedy.
Yeah.
They're cool, they're trendy, everyone loves Little Britain. They're comedy geniuses, they're only gonna get bigger. What's his favourite group of all time?
That is tricky. Level 42.
No. Carl, have a guess.
Well, there's gonna be something weird in it if you're saying this.
Well.
So, how old's the band?
They're probably about as old as him.
How old's he?
No. Oh, Carl, have a guess.
ABBA.
No, it's, why'd you say ABBA?
They're good, aren't they?
No, it's the Proclaimers.
The Proclaimers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I know he's listening, but, you know.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Proclaimers, I just can't imagine anyone getting that excited about them.
I bet that's why he likes you, because you hang out with him, don't you?
I do hang out with him.
He thinks he's
yeah.
it's like the closest thing he can, he knows one of the Proclaimers.
Wait till he meets my twin brother.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna have a field day,
He won't
isn't he?
believe it.
Yeah. So I was honest, I said, I can't play the Proclaimers, but we're playing another.
Where did they come? Because I don't really remember the Proclaimers particularly from when I was young.
Well, let me give you a little blast. I gave a little wee, but in 2-part harmony.
Of course.
That was the main
They were
thing.
very popular for a while, weren't they?
I think they had, sort of 3 big hits in sort of about 1980. When was it?
Yeah. Oh, I forget.
80s.
Scottish. They did sing in Scottish accents, which I thought was quite refreshing. They didn't do the fake American thing.
No, that was good. Yeah.
But again, I just can't imagine sort of being in that. When would I be in the mood to put on a Proclaimers record?
When you've run out of Crankies stuff, I
I
suppose.
guess so, yeah.
If you've played all your Crankies records, there's,
and
you
the
know,
Muppets album.
Yeah, pop on the Proclaimers. Now, we were talking before the break about, Anne Frank in her cupboard.
Yes.
Now,
I'm still a little bit concerned that Karl's not quite got his head around Anne Frank's diary.
Yeah.
It's not like a children's book. It's not like The Lion, Anne Frank and the Wardrobe.
no.
She doesn't go into a fantasy land when she goes into the attic.
I'm just glad that old Mother Hubbard didn't help the Nazis.
Sure.
Because that's the first place she'd look.
Yeah.
Isn't it? The Nazis go, we've got old Mother Hubbard. She thinks she knows where she is.
Yeah.
She'd have gone straight there.
I think with Hubbard, it's like, well, just briefly, you mentioned Hubbard. Now, Hubbard goes to the cupboard to get, I can't remember exactly.
Her poor dog a bone.
She goes to get the dog a bone.
But when she got there,
the cupboard was bare.
And so the poor dog had none.
Is there more to that than because that's all I remember. Is there further verses? Does she finally get a bone? Does she go on an adventure?
Oh, what, you mean the second verse is, then she looked in the fridge and realised that's where she kept the bones, and so the dog was laughing.
Exactly.
No, there isn't another verse.
That's all of it.
I think so. Oh, when they went to the cupboard to get a bottle of bone, when she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none. No, I think that's the end of it. I think it's a moral. I think it's a moral that,
What's the moral?
Well, if you got a dog, keep some bones in the cupboard.
Right. Because I always, even as a kid, I remember thinking that it's quite a tragic sort of picture they paint. I imagine maybe she's lost
short, isn't it?
It is short.
It's over, isn't it? It's that's amazing.
But I always wondered whether perhaps she's had a nervous breakdown. Maybe her husband's died recently. She's just not got any food.
She doesn't know. She
doesn't really know what's going on. The dog's, yapping away. Eventually, she kind of wakes out of this kind of depressed stupor. She goes to the cupboard. There's nothing there. It's just a really depressing, morbid sort of tale. I don't know if maybe it's originated from something in history. I know that Jack and Jill went up the hill and they fell down again.
That's a story about illicit lovers.
That was apparently based on that. And obviously, Ring a Ring of Roses. It dates back to plague times, so I don't know about Hubbard. Humpty Dumpty, not so sure about this. Well, this is something I remember as a kid thinking, at what point was it decided that Humpty Dumpty was a giant Eggman?
I don't know.
Because there's nothing in the actual rhyme. There's no actually, it's not Humpty Dumpty,
it's not,
the Eggman's on the wall.
I don't know. My concern is more, his parents were a little bit cruel, because if you are the Dumpties of, say, Surrey, don't call your firstborn Humpty. Yeah. Because straight away, it's going to be embarrassing for him at school, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know I'm just saying, I'm trying to go, is that it as well?
That's all of it.
Oh,
and also, I don't mean to be pedantic, because I know it's a children's
Is it like an Edward Lear thing, or that's before that, is it?
But I don't mean to be pedantic again, but if you've got a giant Eggman and he's fallen into bits, all the King's men, fine, they're there, they can piece that together again. Don't send horses in.
No, because
that's just a whole eggy, horsey mess.
Enough. Exactly. They're going to make it worse.
They're just going to be standing on it.
They are going to make it worse.
It's not a great idea.
Standing on it, get the horse out of the way. No, he's definitely there.
But again, maybe I'm sure some of the, the mental people...
Is it pre-Lewis Carroll or... If it's Lewis Carroll, it just came with the illustration.
I guess so.
He gave it to someone to illustrate. Go, illustrate Humpty Dumpty. He goes, we've made him an egg.
Yeah, a sort of egg with eyes and a face.
Yeah.
I suppose because the moral of that is if you're fragile, if you're an enormous egg,
Mr. Dumpty, get down from the wall. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, there'd be no medical...
way to happen.
Yeah.
Frankly.
I don't know, Karl. What was your favourite nursery rhyme when you were growing up?
Didn't really do that much reading as a kid.
Are you joking?
You surprised me.
Are you joking?
What's the one with, loads of people in a bed? What's that one?
Oh, there was one in the bed and the little one said roll over. Yeah.
No, because that's not really even got a story to it, is it? That's just...
hold on though, I'll stop you there. It doesn't even say people. It says there was 10 in the bed and the little one, little what? They could be anything. I don't know what they are. Roll over, and they all rolled over and one fell out. There was 9 in the bed and the little one said, roll over.
Now where is the little one in the bed?
I don't know, but worse than that, what has he got over the other 9?
That you can demand they roll out the bed.
And why is no one getting back in?
Yeah, they're just lying on the floor.
We're here now. Yeah. I don't know.
How does that end as well? Where's that going?
It goes on, there was one in the bed, and the little one said, again, he just says, presumably he's telling himself to roll over, there was one in the bed and there was a roll over. So he rolled over, and one fell out. That's him.
That's him.
There was none in the bed. And the little one said, roll over. So now he's calling the shots, presumably laying on the pile of other...
They're just still rolling around.
I don't know, Karl. We've got to look into this. If anyone knows why Dumpty was an egg, if Hubbard eventually found a dog a bone, and what was the little one doing? What did the little one think he was doing, for God's sake?
When I saw my dad last year, he was telling me about a fella who's got some clothes you can see through. What's that one?
You don't mean the Emperor's New Clothes?
Yeah, what's that one about?
Well, that's a genuinely good little parable, that.
Yeah, because it's now used for, people who are scared to sort of slag something off because it's sort of like really cool and they don't want to be the one that shouts it, and then one person goes, hold on,
very briefly, Karl, very briefly, the king wants some new clothes, right? He's the king, he goes, who's gonna make me some new clothes? Various people come to me, says, I don't know that, it's not interesting enough. One guy, who's just a bit of a con artist, he comes along, he goes, I've made you this magic suit, look, and it's nothing. He goes, put it on, the king puts on nothing, because there is nothing, but thinks there's something, because, you know, he wants to buy into it and everything.
And he goes, it's the finest stitching, he goes, look at it, can you see it? No, they have to say, only a genius can see how good this suit is. And the king goes, yeah, it's brilliant, yeah. It's great. And he goes out, and just, is it a woman or a little kid?
Well, everyone's applauding, they're going, you look great, even though his tackle's hanging out, he's, you know, he's nothing.
Even though he's got a king-size, sort of like, bit of meat and two veg, wobbling, dragging down the street.
Exactly. And then one little boy goes, he's not wearing anything.
The king is in the Altogether. Know that one?
So, well, did anyone else buy one? I was...
Okay, play record.
Play a record, Karl.
Play record.
Karl, just play a song.
Jesus. Travis, writing to reach you on XFM 104.9, alright?
Couple of emails here, try and respond to our requests for nursery rhyme related information.
Oh, go on.
Nikki Williams says that she was at infant school and she had a nursery rhyme book, and in the book, and this may just be the illustrations, but apparently the 10 in the bed in there were small baby monkeys, which you'll be loving, Karl. But again, I suspect that might just be the illustration that accompanied
I remember I had a book of nursery rhymes when I was little, and my brother, who was older than me, I was about 5, so he was about 16. And I remember him and his mate just absolutely cracking up, because it said, up Jack got and home did trot as fast as he could caper. He went to bed and bandaged his knob, N-O-B, with vinegar and brown paper. I've since found out that knob is like the old English for head, but I didn't know why they were laughing.
Of course.
They were just cracking up. This was, whenever one of my mates' brothers came around, he said, where's your nursery rhyme book? And he'd read it to him.
Yeah.
And it was just the funniest thing in the world.
The brown paper and vinegar was a popular method, because didn't Jack and Jill use that? They used something similar.
No, that was Jack and Jill.
That was Jack and Jill.
Yeah, that's Jack when he broke his crown, which obviously, that means his head as well, doesn't it? Yeah. So he's fractured his skull on a sort of like an outcrop of rock. Yeah. And then,
is that still used, the brown paper and vinegar?
I don't think it is.
I don't know, maybe in Manchester they're still using that, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Tracy and John Burton say that they, reckon Humpty Dumpty was actually a cannon that used to sit on the walls of the castle, in Colchester, where they live.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That would make a lot more sense.
Sat on a wall, great for all the kings couldn't put them together again. So, he had they broke the cannon, or it meant it exploded.
Maybe the cannon fell apart.
Because people used to get blown up by cannons, just doing it wrong, didn't they?
Sure.
Which is hoist by your own petard.
Right.
Where that comes from.
Right.
Coming back and blowing up in your face.
So that makes slightly more sense, because you would want to send for the King's Men then.
Yeah, and the horses.
I think the horses just came along anyway.
Well, that was quicker.
Sure.
The quick King's Men, it took them about 3 minutes, with the horses there in about a minute. So, but I mean, if it blew up, there's nothing I could do.
Yeah.
So we got to the bottom of that. See, the educational, Karl. See, this is real education. You know what I mean?
It's got a bit heavy though, doesn't it?
What, Humpty Dumpty? Yeah, it has got a little bit heavy. Let's dumb it down a little bit. What do you want to do? Mary quite contrary?
We're doing Rockbusters in a bit.
Hang on a minute.
What?
Before you even get to Rockbusters, oh, man alive, there are loads more verses to Old Mother Hubbard.
Are there?
I'm gonna digest these while we play the ads, and I'll see if there's any salient information I can give you afterwards.
Brilliant! Delays. Long time coming on XFM 104.9. With Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington for the last time.
XFM 104.9.
Sad.
We've established that Hubbard went to the cupboard, Rick.
Yeah.
Get the dog a bone, the cupboard was empty.
Yeah.
As we all know. And
so the dog didn't have any. End of story, so the dog didn't have any.
Well, no, wait.
Go on, what?
It turns out there's what appears to be something like 15 other verses.
Not really.
Unbelievable. I'm not gonna go through all of them, Rick.
Right, any information?
Well, basically I can tell you straight away that the dog initially had none.
Yeah.
She went to the baker's to buy him some bread. When she came back, the poor dog was dead. Right, you're pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
She went to the joiners to buy him a coffin. When she came back, the poor dog was laughing. I don't know what he's up to.
Right.
She took a clean dish to get him some tripe, but when she came back, he was smoking a pipe. I mean...
So the dog was winding her up then at the beginning, being dead.
I mean, he's pushing his luck.
But-
especially if she's already depressed.
But, do you know, if I was that dog, right, and I live with old Mother Hubbard, right, all that faffing around, I'd be going, I know there's no bones in the cupboard.
Exactly.
Right? What do you mean you're going to get me some bread? I'm a dog.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in bread. Get me some hamburgers.
Yeah.
So, I think I'd start winding her up.
She went to the Our House to get him some beer. When she came back, the dog sat in a chair.
See, I just said the dog had turned queer.
Yeah.
Make it rhyme
very
beliefs,
well,
and
does
also
it?
get a little, you know, he's smoking a pipe, he's having a laugh,
I'm beginning to wonder
he's
if...
bent. He's bent!
I'm beginning to wonder if this is based on fact, though, in any way, because she went to the grocer's to buy him some fruit. When she came back, he was playing the flute.
He's gay!
No, it is the flute, it's not, now this, I didn't even know there was a goat involved. She went,
Oh, no!
she went to the tailor's to buy him a coat. When she came back, he was riding the goat.
Yeah, there you go. Dirty little, what?
She went to the Hatter's to buy him a hat. When she came back, he was feeding the cat. I mean...
I can't believe it. So I'm thinking the pipe's a crack pipe.
Hang on a minute. I think the gay thing's beginning to stand up.
Go on.
She went to the barber's to buy him a wig. When she came back...
He was having a frig.
He was dancing a jig. He's dancing a jig. You're dancing a jig.
He's dancing a jig, smoking a pipe, shagging a goat.
This is a bit of left field one though. She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes.
Why does he need shoes? I bet they're high heels.
Wait a second though. She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes. When she came back, you're never going to believe this.
What?
He was reading the news.
Brilliant!
She went to the seamstress to buy him some linen. Again, don't know why. When she came back, the dog was a-spinning.
Yeah.
She went to the hosier's to buy him some hose. When she came back, he was dressed in his clothes.
Why did she want to
But this is the big payoff that we've been building to.
Right.
The dame made a curtsy, the dog made a bow, the dame said, "Your servant," the dog said, "Bow wow."
Right.
I mean...
Okay. I'm gonna probably do a few more verses during the next
During
song.
the course of the show?
Yeah.
Listen, before we move on, I should just say that we've had various people saying what was in the bed and what was the final line of the bed thing.
Why do they care?
It's extraordinary, isn't it? We've talked about politics in the past,
Yeah.
great music, we played great songs.
Yeah, we've got Monkey News coming up talking about politics.
But Danny's said that apparently it ends with one in the bed, little one said good night.
Because he was all happy, he had the
he
bed to
mentioned
himself,
that.
and there's
But
nine of his mates piled on the floor.
Rick, but Ava counters that by saying, actually, one in the bed, the little one said, "Come back," because he felt lonely. So
We're never gonna get to the bottom of this.
I don't know, Rick.
This is the same as the Kennedy thing. There's loads of different opinions.
Conspiracy theories.
I know, we don't know what's going on. But Jimmy Webb, we go on. Jimmy Webb, Galveston. Fantastic version on XFM. 104.9. You know what, Steve? I know, people are going to miss the talk about little Chinese fellas, little gay fellas, little monkey fellas, and all that.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to miss some great tunes as well.
I'd hope so.
She went to the jeweller's to buy him a clock. But when she got back...
What was he sucking?
a chalk ice.
A chalk ice, fine.
So...
Fine, respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of feel like, one thing we've never done, Rick, is we've never pandered to people, but as it's the last show, we've got to give the audience what they want.
Rockbusters?
Well, yeah, and I was going to say things they don't want as well. Well, just basically to keep a smile on Karl's face.
Yeah.
I say a smile, a sort of, not quite a scowl.
Yeah, he never really smiles.
So, yeah, it's just really as a chance for him to have a go. It's like, you indulge an annoying child.
The only time Karl laughs is for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
What do you think, like...
What do you mean?
Well, sometimes you'll go... and I know you'll be thinking of what a monkey could do.
Yeah, it's like people who've had electroshock therapy.
Yeah! Especially tied down biting on something.
Yeah.
Biting on a big leather pad.
Let me just tell you briefly what the prizes are. It's
that,
the number.
that looks like a piece of shit.
Let me tell you, mate. Let me tell you. There's a number of mediocre CDs and DVDs.
That is real
But
talent.
mainly, what about this? It's the Lord of the Rings Collector's Edition.
Oh.
Of the movies, you're thinking? No, it's the Radio 4 adaptation. It's only 14 hours long, Rick.
Oh, that is... Throw that away.
So,
pop that in the bin.
so
That is just... either pop it in the bin or send it to some poor bastard who wins this quiz.
Exactly. If you're willing to take part in the quiz, you deserve 14 hours of your life wasted with that Tolkien tripe. So...
Right.
Yeah, what are the clues then, Karl?
Right, as always, just, you know, cryptic clues and that. Initials of a band or an artist, work it out, win the stuff.
Yeah. Email only.
Yeah, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. First clue is as follows. The Jamaican fella wrote a review for...
It's the good old Jamaican fella. Jamaican fella.
It's the last show and the little Jamaican fella's made an appearance.
This normally suggests that you need to think of the answer in a Jamaican accent.
Yeah. Or not.
Yeah, or not.
Yeah,
So
any
hang on,
accent.
hang on.
Or an accent. Or pronounce the word slightly differently.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go on.
The Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. Alright?
Yeah.
DC is on the initials.
DC? D for
Yeah.
Derek?
Yeah,
Okay.
DC. The Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. That's the first one. Second one. There's 3 of them. Second one is, we should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine, Copperfield, The Great Soprendo, Tommy Cooper, and Darren Brown. We should all vote for them. Why is that? What was...
I've just got the first one.
ES.
ES.
Right? ES.
Okay.
And the last one, Steve, what did your dad do? Huh?
Steve, what did my dad do?
What did your dad do?
Is that the question, or are you asking me?
Well, Ricky, what did your dad do? It can work on anyone. What
Right.
did your dad do?
Alright.
Right? That's E. Right?
What
So-
did your dad do?
Quickly, again, the Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. Right? DC. Second one, we should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine,
Yeah,
Copperfield, Great Soprano. No, but that's important. Right? ES, and the last one, you know, Steve, what did your dad do? Right?
Okay.
The initial E.
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. We don't want to speak to you. Please don't phone up.
Remember, you could win some Lord of the Rings tripe.
Right?
There's no more on XFM.
Alright.
Last Rockbusters ever, thank Christ. Thanks no more in their version of I'm Easy on XFM 104.9 with Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Rick,
For the last time.
we've only really got 3 topics of discussion on this show. I think you agree with that.
Little Chinese fellas.
Little Chinese fellas,
Monkeys.
monkeys,
And the gays.
the gay people.
Yeah.
We're hoping to cover all those subjects today. Monkey News is coming later. I'm
Yeah.
sure we can find something to discuss about gay people.
We've
but
done gays, we've done a few gays.
I suppose we talked about the dog
yeah,
thing.
yeah, big time.
I think you'll be enjoying it. This is something that's got sent through to us. I'm not quite sure who by, but thanks very much for it. It's a story that was in the press recently. I'm not going to give you the headline. I think it gives away too much. I think, Karl, you'll be particularly interested in it. A farmer in eastern China,
Right, here we go.
basically, he paid £1,300, or the Chinese equivalent, to marry a woman, and basically she refused to sleep with him after the wedding, complaining that she felt unwell. 6 days after the ceremony, she tried to run away, but the farmer followed her. He found her in some neighbouring town. They grappled together. The bogus bride's false breasts fell off.
And he's hard.
It
Not his hard up to his old tricks, is
It
it?
wasn't his hard.
Trying to do another show in Chinese this time.
But it was a man.
Oh,
And,
no.
apparently, yeah, it was an arranged marriage. I don't know who sorted that out.
Did he get his money back?
I think
Because I think men are cheaper than women, to marry in China, I think.
But, yeah, I mean, you've got to be pretty simple not to realise that the person you're marrying's a bloke, surely.
Well, no, if he didn't have a little look, what was, you know, in the back of the store, he just saw the shop window, sort of lovely little Chinese lady there,
Yeah.
right? You know.
The lovely hair, real breasts.
Well, there's lumps where the breasts should be.
Yeah.
I can only assume they are breasts.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not, you see women walking around going, what, are they breasts, or are they, stealing sort of grapefruits? No, they're probably,
But wouldn't there have been a lot, I mean, wouldn't there be quite a sort of long initiation period when they
Not if it was,
first get introduced and so on?
Not if he put his money down. He came and they said, right, I want a bird quickly, here's a grand.
Sure.
Get me one. They're not going to say, you want real breasts or they're just gonna assume?
Sure.
Yeah, here's one.
Yeah,
Here's a little Chinese.
But who is
lady.
he paying? Where is he buying this woman from?
For the Chinese lady shop.
His lady shop.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
I think, there's one in Chinatown, I think.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
not really a town.
Not exactly a town, more a novelty street.
And the roads are very slippery.
Very sticky.
I tell you what, though.
What?
I was looking at their menus when I was walking on. They don't waste anything, do they?
Why?
Duck's tongue on the menu.
Yeah, but it's better when you say it. Alright, duck's tongue. A duck's tongue, really?
You sure that wasn't the proprietor?
Coldplay, warning sign on XFM, 104.9. Karl, look at that. What is it? What is it?
An apple.
Right, okay. What am I doing to it?
You're messing with it.
Yeah, and what's happening to it?
It's gone up a bit.
Yeah! Would you kiss it for 100 quid?
No.
100 quid. Would you just like, just kiss
No, I
it?
wouldn't.
Why? 100 quid?
What are we doing this for?
I think I read this same feature on Wogan, I'm not sure. Seriously, Karl, I'm intrigued to know, how much would you have to be
just
paid
kiss
to
it.
kiss Ricky's nipple?
Not suck it or lick it or anything like that. Just, like that, just on the nipple.
£5 grand.
£5 grand to kiss my nipple? Well, if you do it for 5, you do it for 1. £1,000 cash to kiss my nipple.
No, I'm not doing it.
You're joking? £1,000 to kiss my nipple? Come on, it's the last show.
No, I'm not doing it.
2,000.
If you had the money there, and, like, if you had it there now, I might do it.
For what?
I'm not doing it.
500 quid.
No. Stop taking it down.
What's happening to...
£2 grand.
£2 grand? So you've gone down from 5 to 2 straight away. Look.
Steve, what's going on?
I
Karl,
seriously think I'd like to see you kiss his nipple
Well,
for
it's not
2,000
going to happen, is it? So,
if Steve wants it and I want it, that's
not
2 to
gonna
1.
happen. It's not going to
I
happen.
thought it was a democracy, this show.
You're not educating Ricky or what?
Email in if you'd like to see, or rather hear, Karl
bother.
kiss Ricky's nipple for
Don't bother, because it's
£2,000.
not going to happen.
Come on, Karl.
Right.
It's not like he's Jono's nipple.
No.
It's next. Okay.
Would you
Well,
kiss this for,
right,
25
okay,
quid?
wrong, but no, what are you doing? What are you doing educating Ricky?
Do you want to set that
Why
up?
were you looking, by the way? Why were you looking at that? You didn't have to look at that.
We're doing...
Go on.
Right, this is when I teach Ricky stuff. Just give him some headlines to sort of tease him into what's gone on this week that you might want to know about.
Yeah, go on.
Right. Is that important?
Yeah.
Right, you got that?
Headline one.
That'll be something to do with ants. So,
Where there's a way, where there's a will, there's a way.
right, okay, that'll be something about sucking mints.
Hook, line, and good thinkers.
Okay.
So which of those are you choosing?
I'll have the, is that important?
What, you want to do it now? I was just gonna leave it.
Yeah,
no,
go
let's
on,
do
let's
one.
give it, let's do one now, yeah, come on. It's
Alright.
Christmas Eve, open one, come on.
You know I don't like anteaters.
Why?
Okay, so I should just point out to people that as far as Karl is convinced, the stories that he's about to relate are absolutely 100% true.
Yeah.
You be the judge of whether
You've
you think
seen them on the
that's
internet, of course they're true, go on.
Anteaters, yeah.
Why don't you like them?
I've told you before, I just don't, sort of... It annoys me that an animal's named after what it eats. You don't need
Yeah,
it.
but it didn't choose it, did it?
Yeah, but if there's nothing else that it can be called, it's like, oh, what's it do? I don't know. What's it eating? It's eating ants, right, let's call it an anteater.
What,
It's not good enough.
But why are you annoyed at it, though, for someone else calling it being lazy?
It obviously doesn't do anything else. Do you know what I mean?
But what do you want to call the chartered surveyor?
Well, whatever, just a proper name.
What's the proper name?
Well, I'm just saying,
But tell me an animal that's a proper name to you.
beaver. That's pretty good.
Why is that a proper name?
It doesn't matter anyway, I don't understand what they're
Alright,
about. right?
you and anteaters have got issues.
Right, okay. Sometimes I genuinely don't understand what his thought processes are. Go on. Right, okay, an ant. You don't like anteaters because they just eat ants and that's what they're named after. Go on.
Alright. Do you know that an anteater
Yeah.
can stick its tongue in and out 160 times in a minute?
No, didn't know that.
Right?
Okay.
Oh, it's rubbish.
Thanks.
No, but do you think that's good? Because I,
I
did
don't
it
know what
last
that-
night.
What do you mean? Shall I call Norris McWhirter? What do you mean, do I think that's good? What, compared to what?
You see, I read it and thought, so what? So it's interesting.
Well, we think so what as well.
So you still put it down as something interesting to tell me?
No, but it's the fact